Hello. While you consider the fact that this following podcast is designed and created for adults only, consider also the tragedy of microwaves. The only machine that if they were used... Actually, let's start again.
Two.
I have too much in my mind.
Take two.
Take two. Hello. While you consider the fact that this is an over 18s only podcast, consider also the tragedy of microwaves, the only machine that if used to its full potential would surely cause its own demise.
Tis true for you. Ladies and gentlemen and everything else in between, we are the Strange Rose Podcast, and I am Vincent, and I'm here with Les, the talent on sound, John, the talent who is sound, Marcus, the talent, Darren, the expert, and Tom, the wild card.
Jazz hands. I only came in for the last of that. I must admit I wasn't listening. I was reading something there, and I just heard Les that is sound, and then you came in to me and said Marcus the talent. I was like, I'm not sound. I've been left off the sound list here. It's cool. But I respect it, and I understand why.
Can I just say I got talent and sound, so I think...
What? What?
I think you should go fuck yourself.
We can edit out the bad language later.
That'll be some wild card now if I fucked myself.
We can edit out more of the bad language later. Have you a song?
Yeah. Do a song, talent.
This is the Strange Wolves Podcast. Telling boys how long's it gonna last? A good while, you know. That's all.
We might slyly do two at the same time and then break
tell the
them up
audience. We could tell the audience we just did one.
I might even
Sweet.
change that line in the next song to put less pressure on ourselves. Karate combat, WTF. New lows, there's none left. No right either, cause he had no legs. Grappling Johnny blew off his brother, foot like bait. What's next in this karate gutter? A Krav Maga person versus someone with a stutter. I'd quite like to watch that because you'd have the Krav Maga guy go and grab my arm this way and the stutter guy struggling to get out words. So I think it would be a real chess match. Andre Lasky for the YouTubers crew. Be careful, kings, it could happen to you. What did Mike Perry say to Eddie's son? To warrant 5 guys stomping on him. Mike blamed the slippery floor, or did he call his girlfriend a whole lot of disrespectful names? So be careful, king, it could happen to you.
That was a beautiful song.
Thank you.
So, do you want to start with the viewers' questions, or do you want to start with this new feature of standout moments that are living rent-free in your head from the history of MMA?
Let's start out rent-free.
John, do you have any moments from the MMA past that are in your head?
I have two in particular. One of them, I think, is a really well-known one, which was... Actually, I won't remember anyone's names, which I rarely do anyway. Your man against the other guy. Rory McDonald versus...
Robbie
Lawler. Was it the start of... the end of round 4, end of round 3, where there's this fucking unbelievably cool moment where the bell rings for the end of the round and they stand there unwilling to break eye contact. Both of whom are brutally fucking bloodied and bashed, and it's been a rough couple of rounds for both of them. And they still stand there toe to toe, just kind of saying, no, I'm not going to break. I'm standing here. Go fuck yourself. I thought that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The second one is a lesser well-known one where...
Before you go on to the second one, can I just... was that the one where McDonald had a red stream of blood halfway down his face and his nose was completely broken?
Yeah. And Robbie Lawler had his lip split open at that stage.
Yeah.
And eventually, I don't know how many bones Rory got broken in his face, but certainly his nose and the surrounding
never
area.
Really the same afterwards.
No, he was. That was,
before that fight, people thought, myself included, that he might, if he won that fight, get a title shot and he just couldn't get Lawler down at the right time.
It was just fucking cool. It was just so cool. And you couldn't script it. You couldn't write it. If someone said it was going, someone tried to plan it, it would look like shit.
We saw that as a club in a pub in Galway, Monroe's. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't know where it was on, but we managed to see it.
It was
live. There was about 20 or
unbelievable.
30 of us.
I think it was. Yeah, we were in Monroe's, got pizza.
Was that live that we saw it? Or
We watched
where
it
it was
the
held?
the next day. We screened it.
okay.
And then the second one was just a particular memory that I had of Mike Brown. This was years ago when I used to kind of watch it by myself. Mike Brown fought a guy at the time called Leonard Garcia, who both of whom were kind of big names at the time. It might have been in WEC, it might have been pre-UFC, but there was just a fucking great fight and there was an awesome arm triangle. And I remember thinking at the time, arm triangles, that's something now I need to get. You know, I remember kind of thinking about it a lot over the following weeks going, arm triangles.
Game changer.
They're the way forward. Like, you know, if you lock that in, it's going to be awful hard to deal with an arm triangle, especially if you're out of breath and kind of under pressure, what have you. That's the way to go. And I remember it was a big thing for me just watching an arm triangle and watching how successful it was. So there's the two. Pick your favorite out of that.
We've been using our legs like idiots, you thought.
Yeah, no.
Finally.
To be honest,
Finally, arms are in.
I was still trying to just lie on people and hoping that they'd give up.
Still a popular technique of mine.
This was before legs were used at all. But Mike Brown had that kind of hardness, that kind of grit that, like, I suppose we didn't. It was never before. People before him didn't really have that kind of style.
He was a tough dude. Now he had a kind of a blotted career after that. You know, there was a lot of
Who
wins
got
and
the arm
losses.
triangle?
Mike Brown did. Fighter from Maine. You don't hear of too many fighters from Maine. You know, it's off the main road.
and he had those ankle sweeps as well with the leg.
Yeah, and he went on to be a very successful coach as well.
Yeah.
You'd see him kind of coaching. I think he coaches in Coconut Creek in Florida.
Is it Mike the Immortal Brown? Am I thinking the same guy? That's Matt.
That's
Brown.
Matt the Immortal,
He's
yeah.
He's the little guy you're thinking of.
Matt-
Little ginger
Am I
guy.
thinking of Matt Brown?
You're thinking of Matthew Immortal Brown
that
as well,
amazing,
yeah.
amazing memories, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Mike Brown you mean.
He was in
from the coaching.
WEC, wasn't
From
he?
coaching, yeah. You probably know more from coaching now. He beat Uriah Faber twice.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
Wow.
Which was a fun thing too. But I think after the second Uriah Faber fight, whatever happened to him, it was just kind of a ups and downs thereafter. But he's had a very successful coaching career, to the best of my knowledge.
He's a tough guy, Uriah Faber. He's lost to who's who in MMA. Like, you name it, he's lost to them. So can't take that away from him.
And that face,
Yeah.
that butt chin.
Yeah, you can say about like women in MMA going far on their looks, but he was the pioneer in going far on your looks. The California kid, you know, like dressed like an undercover cop, man, clearly in his
He had a
30s.
they had a great rivalry with him and Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
That was a old school proper fucking hatred, really funny interactions. That was a great legitimate beef back
And he
in the
brought
day.
out a great book, Uriah Faber, that was an MMA book about his life that doubled up. He wrote it to double up as a self-help book.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely
Nice.
amazing.
So you two could be like me, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
He's a coach now as well. He's back coaching. He's coaching Dong, the guy who lost to Sean O'Malley recently.
Yeah, Team Alpha Male is still going.
The Short King Club.
I don't know if it's with Team Alpha Male. Is it?
Oh,
Maybe it is.
I'd say so.
Or maybe, yeah.
That was his team, but maybe they fired him.
Oh, no, it could be. I just...
Brought in a height restriction.
Did we have beef
could be.
with Team Alpha Male at one point?
Big
We
beef,
did, but
Tom.
we squashed that, didn't we?
No, we finished it.
So yeah.
Man's got to eat.
How about you,
Man's gotta
Marcus?
eat.
Any moments?
I do. I've won, and I did a bit of research because it's a little bit. You may not remember it. So it's Tom Kong Watson versus Stanislav Stansky Nedkov, and it happened in 2013.
Tom Conn Watson was an interesting dude, but go on anyway. Sorry.
And the reason, so he had this fight, I think it was his second fight in the UFC, and it was Stanislav's first fight. And Stan, we'll call him Stan because it'd be easier on the listeners. Stan was winning the first round. I think he rocked Tom, but Tom came on strong in the second and finished him with a TKO. But it was his...
Tom Kong came on strong.
Tom Kong came on strong. Nothing wrong, Tom. Right, John? But it was his post-fight interview that stays rent-free in my head. Because now your man Stan is standing beside him while he's been interviewed, which just... I still can't get over it this day. And he says, you see the size of the man? There's an epidemic in MMA right now. T or T. And then the guys beside him like, English isn't his first language. Like, what the fuck's going on here? He's like, he's calling me out for, being on roids. And he goes on to say, I want to call out anybody who's on testosterone, any drugs. Get in here and fight me next. All I've got is heart. This is all I've got. And your man beside him like, what the fuck? He's probably
don't do that.
Yeah.
You've way more than just heart.
People can disagree with me all I want. I'm in this industry. I fight and I see it. I don't know if it's me, but I look at these guys and you can see which guys are on it. That's the type of fighter I am, a big heart. Goes on about drugs again. It's a difficult division because I think most of the division are on this stuff and some of them look like they're from another planet. And then in another interview afterwards, he goes on to talk about, I don't want to be taking shots at Fedor or Belfort specifically, but why is he allowed to take TRT? You know what I mean? It's like, because that's like saying just because your job's hard, you need TRT to get up and do it. He's like, well, I get up and do it. I train 3 times a day without it. Why is Fedor allowed to do it? So that was a little bit afterwards, but just saying that in the cage while he's fighting him lives fucking rent free. I just give a bit of context to who is Tom Kong Watson. He was the BAMA middleweight champion for years in the UK, and he came to popularity by fighting, you know this one, John, Alex Reed, who was Jordan's, aka Katie Price's husband. So he was
in the cage.
Alex Reed was a relatively successful fighter. Yeah,
he won Celebrity Big Brother at the time, so he was big in the UK, and he fought him. It might have been on Bravo TV or Channel 5, but it was a big deal in the UK. A lot of eyes on it. So after winning that, he had a lot of a bit of a buzz about him. Then he came into the UFC, started calling out TRT guys in an era where they were on it, and went on a skid afterwards and got cut. But
he was a welterweight in the UFC, was he? Did he drop to welterweight for the UFC?
I think.
Or did he stay middleweight?
That I don't know. I'd say he stayed middleweight.
Okay.
I'll be wrong on that.
That doesn't really matter.
Middleweight's what I got here in my notes.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So, but just calling someone under TRT who's not expecting it in the cage is rarely done.
Yeah. So and it's great to see. You love to see it. Yeah. Because as we've discussed before, I don't like, when you're trying to discuss these type of topics like steroid abuse and performance enhancing drugs in MMA and people just dismiss it with, sure, they're all on it. But that's not really fair on the guys that actually aren't on it and want to compete, fair and square as nature intended. Because my rent-free moment is, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this opportunity to segue into going next because it's the same topic, picograms. I was thinking, is there anything outside fighting that I never really got over in MMA? I never got over the picogram thing. When John Jones was like, oh, but it's fine. It's only a picogram. It's not a nanogram. It's just and sure, it was probably there from a previous abuse. And you look back at the previous.
Your impression is class.
That's fine. And you look back, okay, maybe you're kind of going, because at first you're kind of being gaslit and you're kind of going, maybe it was there from the previous steroid infraction. And you look back and you're like, it can't have been because that wasn't what he popped for. He didn't pop for Tyrannoball the last time. So they're just completely making that up.
Is that a dinosaur?
It helps. It helps the dinosaurs.
It's a type of dinosaur sport. It's volleyball for dinosaurs.
Tyrannoball is basically what gave the East German female shot putters the masculine features. The nickname of it is Tram. I don't know much about it. Other than
seems to know a lot.
I'm hiding a lifelong secret about. I'm actually female.
Tyrannoball.
But the reason it stuck in my head wasn't so much the MMA thing. It was just like the power of the media because they wanted John Jones's fight to go ahead. They moved it to California. Do you remember? They moved the whole card to a different jurisdiction so John Jones could still fight. Unless I'm imagining that. Maybe I dreamt that. Maybe
I remember both. There was really dodgy stuff and how pissed off you were at the time.
Was I? Was I raving about it at the time?
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
Because I
think you might have spoken about it on one of the deleted old
did I?
old-fashioned.
Okay. See, there it is.
podcasts.
It is-
We were all
it is rent-free in my
sniffing
head.
Tyranobol and ranting on about it.
I remember the UFC were like, trying to educate us on, and like, just think of a swimming pool, and it's like just a tiny drop. That is what he's like. When you're having to educate the consumer on why his drug test doesn't matter, you're probably lying to us.
Yeah, and I never really trusted the media again after that, if I'm honest.
Or after the Brock Lesnar stuff, because remember Brock Lesnar also kind of failed, but they kind of pushed it.
The inhaler.
No,
That
that
was
was Greg Hardy.
No, that was the reason that Brock gave for failing it. He said that it was a steroid inhaler he was using, and obviously that was. Yeah.
I don't know that. I assume the Brock thing was afterwards because they kind of maybe realised.
That's the Mark Hunt fight that he popped.
Yeah, was that after John Jones popped? The John Jones thing that I'm talking about was around 2017, I think.
might have
I don't
been
know when
John-
Brock fought Hunt.
It was a UFC 200 where they had the gold mats. That really big card.
Because I kind of realised, I think, at a certain point that, actually, if USAD is effective, it might cost us money in terms of cards getting cancelled. Did you feel that?
Yeah, and I think that obviously now they're kind of done with it, right? Like it's like they pushed it out. It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Like so, let's stop losing us money by trying to push like trust and brand recognition. It doesn't matter anymore. Let's just go Wild Wild West. And I think we're going to see that now in the Paramount era as well. It doesn't matter. Let's just have fun. You know?
Fun, guys. Rankings don't matter. Drug tests don't matter. Let's get loose. You know, it's season 22. Just fucking go for it.
Who are you, Ido Portal?
I have two. One of them, I don't know. It's a word you're not allowed to say anymore. But
Say it. I secretly revealed that I'm a woman on
Okay.
Trem all these years.
so there was a fight back with Mayhem Miller where his corner was roaring in, use the retard strength. And I think that one has always stuck with me. Every time I see that clip, I always
That's
laugh.
very funny. Were they laughing when they said it? Were they smiling?
No,
at
it was
least?
serious. It was like, this
Wow.
was a serious, like, that was corner advice. It's similar to when the guy's teeth were falling out and the corner was saying, just breathe, okay?
What's terrible about that, because I seen that one recently, is the corner shouting out, use retard strength. You know, and that's like his cue to just lift him up, take him down. But Joe Rogan is like explaining why he's saying that. Well, he's trying to say he's got this amazing retard strength where he can pick anyone up. So like he's got this incredible, they're not saying he's retarded. He's got like a retard-like strength. It's like, Joe, you are not helping the situation here. You know, fear was not a factor for you, Joe.
Oh, man, that's funny.
And then related to, I guess I have two real quick ones. One was related to what you were saying with the inhaler, but when Greg Hardy was fighting early in the UFC, that he was sitting on the corner to turn him around and give him his inhaler between rounds. And, I don't know if the fight continued after that, but obviously the inhaler opens the lungs and is a steroid, so obviously you can't use it in the corner. Maybe it's something they should introduce though to get the heavyweights going.
That was insane, giving him Yeah, he's had a lot of cardio issues in the fights.
What about you, Tom?
I've one with Nick Diaz, and he's getting interviewed, and your one is kind of she's talking about how his image is taken down MMA, and he turns to her and he says, we fight in a cage.
I just love that bit.
Well said, Mr. Diaz.
He's not known for his.
I was
quick
kind of
wit.
hoping you might try a bit of a
I didn't want
Diaz
to.
impression there.
I what? I can't do one. I can only be him. I can't impersonate him.
Yeah, you have more Mayhem Miller energy than Diaz. You know?
Retard strength.
You've got that special strength.
Have you questions and from the viewers and like
Do
you have to
we
write
have
them down?
viewers? Is it in Taiwanese?
While we're waiting, did we all understand the potency of my microwave thing? It's like if you put on a microwave to 99 minutes, which it allows you to, it will destroy itself.
Have you ever tried that?
No.
Ooh.
So I have a couple questions. But do you want-
you
think you were buying me time,
I thought
like
that
a-
people might be more affected by that. Everyone's just looking at Marcus now for him to start. I'll shut up.
No, what I was gonna say was, you often bring up these philosophical conundrums, and speaking of things that rent free in my head, do you remember you asked about when bread becomes toast? And I was actually thinking about that, sadly, for weeks afterwards, until I finally got what I think is the answer. I think the answer is never. And can I explain my reasoning? Because toast is a verb and bread is a noun.
Interesting.
So bread never becomes toast. Toast is the action. Toast is what you do, not what you are.
Bread is a verb as well. I've seen porn in which people got bread.
You bred
Okay,
my
fair.
mind.
Well, I'm glad we had this chat because now I have something else to think about.
Look
Next
up
few weeks.
What is bread porn?
I'll show you later.
Class. Over some
Check your-
UFC fights.
Check your messages in 0.7 seconds.
So anyway, the
I'm
favorite-
turning off flight mode.
Favorite segment of ours now, where the listeners send in their questions about MMA. Can be life, agony ants, agony John. So this first question, he's got a couple. Greedy goose. This is Connor from Galway.
He really wants poaching.
Yeah. This is Connor from Galway, and he also requested, could we say a happy birthday to him, wish him a happy birthday message.
Fair play,
And,
Brello language.
which I obviously asked, what is your age? Which they responded 34. So happy birthday to Connor, happy 34th. Fair play. From
Happy
everyone,
birthday, Connor.
I hope he's not under 18.
From everyone at the podcast, happy birthday. So his first
May you get a hand job.
competition has really gone up here from Pucci, huh? So the first question is the White House card weird now because of the Trump Epstein stuff? So guys, is the White House card weird now
They should have an Epstein Island UFC fight.
because of the Trump Epstein stuff? What do you think, John?
I think anything to do with Trump there's probably never going to be a situation that is routine and quote unquote normal. I don't think it's possible. I think anything he touches turns to nuts, which would be great if you were a squirrel. But for the rest of us, it's just a constant circus, the Trump circus, 3-ring, 4-ring, you name it.
Yeah, I don't think it's any weirder than it already was that, the president of the United States is hosting a UFC event in his back garden.
Some fighter, I can't remember who it was. I wish I could to give him credit because it was brilliant. Some guy goes, "That's some Hunger Games shit." That was brilliant.
Yeah. That's great. Anyone else want to?
No, I think it's aligned with what is expected, to be honest with you.
Bread and circuses.
Yeah.
If I could, sorry, just to put on my boring hat for a second, there's a fantastic documentary on YouTube called Hypernormalization. And if anyone wants the chance to get a bit of an insight into why politics are absolutely gone mental. Basically, for Putin, there was a guy working and he used to make things so ridiculous. It had an effect on the populace where they're just like, I'm out. I'm totally zoning out of politics. I'm not going to be involved.
That's happened to me. I am that person actually now.
Yeah, it removes like the investment in the power structures and
Yeah, that's happened to
leaves the elite to run everything.
Yeah, you were right about that boring hat. Anyway, let's get back to the podcast.
That was hyper normal.
Next question from Connor, 34 years young. Would anyone care about McGregor Diaz 3 at this stage?
I would. Me.
Yeah, you'd watch it.
No, I wouldn't watch it. I just care about it.
I think McGregor's so much of a fucking dickhead now. Maybe he always was, but we're seeing him for who he is. I don't give a fuck who he fights. Don't give a fuck about the guy. Fuck him. Dead to me. Dead to me.
Wow, you're taking real stances. First Epstein, now McGregor.
And it'll be fun because
You're so righteous, holier than thou, Mister. I'm perfect.
John's woke.
no, but I feel like it would be the first time I'd be rooting for Diaz in a big way.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that Dustin showed that Conor can't withstand that level of violence anymore anyway, right? Like, that's going to be if it's a 5-round fight, it's going to go all 5 rounds. Diaz doesn't have the knockout power unless he submits him, which he did in a second bout, or was it first bout? And then I don't think Conor has it in him anymore to really push that 5 rounds, especially after his trip. I think he's too nice now. Look at Deontay Wilder, for example. He did ayahuasca, and he's a different type of fighter. And they kind of, when you do this type of psychedelic, you lose that killer instinct that's required for combat sports.
Maybe we should all do psychedelics. The world would be a safer place.
I think as another layer to that question is whatever about seeing those two fighters, seeing the trilogy of, is that, they had one each. I think the interest is well gone for that. Time has passed. It's more of a Netflix fight now at this stage because, be more in that. That's another great and final question. We'll give him one more. He had loads of questions. He's a curious guy, this Conor.
Our one fan.
Yeah. If GSP, this one assumes a lot as well. If GSP, Anderson Silva, and John Jones didn't exist, who is the GOAT?
Fedor. Fedor's still the GOAT. Better than any of them anyway.
Khabib?
BJ for me.
Not right now, Vinny. We're doing a podcast.
You used your teeth way too much the last time.
It's not on video. Come on.
Marcus is going around just servicing Vinny.
It's not like anyone's recording this.
Come on.
I can get away with anything on this podcast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think still have GOATs without them three.
I wouldn't include John Jones in that category at all, because if you take, say, John Jones needed to do performance-enhancing drugs to fight Cormier, where, say, BJ Penn didn't need performance-enhancing drugs to fight a formidable opponent, a weight division above him on short notice, Matt Hughes, and he beat him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And as well, BJ Penn had a long run of wins at lightweight before winning the welterweight title. He also always he brought something new to the table as a trailblazer in the early days.
Fought Machida at heavyweight.
Yeah, fought all around the world, fought anybody, didn't pick his opponents when he was outside the UFC, took fights at short notice. Was like, he managed to fight Machida to a draw. Well, it was Machida won the judge's decision, but it was a draw. So I think maybe the whole John Jones thing, we'll never know, would he have beat Gustafsson if he wasn't on PEDS? But I suspect, because that was a close fight, that he probably wouldn't have.
Just on another note, and again, it's nothing to do with being woke, but what about Amanda Nunez? What about women?
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for Amanda Nunez. Amanda Nunez has been the GOAT.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Or Mighty Mouse. Small people.
Yeah, I don't know. I fair enough having the female in the conversation, but not a small person, John. We gotta have some sort of criteria for GOAT status. If you can't go on every ride at Disneyland, you can't be the GOAT.
In fairness, Mighty Mouse probably has to be up there in any conversation, and Nunez
So it depends
as well.
what your criteria is.
You got to have two GOATs, because if you only have one GOAT, the GOAT's going to leave the field. You got to tie the two GOATs together. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
So my criteria would be, and shoot this down if you don't agree, number one, a long run in their own weight division, which Mighty Mouse definitely had. Number two, they have to win the belt to weight division above, which now a lot of people have done, but number three, for me, they have to have not a sniff of performance-enhancing drugs. You can't have a sniff of that, because there's other guys way back the queue who have done almost equally as good things who haven't had it.
It comes back then to Conor's point, are those three fighters, do they fall within that? Is GSP? Do we think GSP?
He could be in the conversation for a GOAT for sure.
I know, but I'm saying that for drug free.
Well, as far as we know, he is. Obviously, you could make the case, but he's never popped. So, I'm
It
not.
was the gymnastics that helped him.
Yeah, so maybe just change the criteria a bit to has to be very good at taking the drugs, that they don't pop on tests.
Yeah,
That could be
yeah.
GOAT
Well,
status.
See, the problem with that is the criteria is not everyone who's good at avoiding tests is going to be good at fighting. You know what I mean? So that's why it's the last criteria. The first two criteria are very important. Yeah, long run of wins in your weight division, winning the next weight division up. The third criteria is just when you take all the people who've done that, did any of them pop? Because otherwise, am I not giving it to GSP just because I assume he was on drugs? Like, that's not really...
It's true.
That's not really
it's
right,
just-
I don't think.
It's just always a sense I've had around him, which is probably unfair. So I apologize, GSP. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. But where do you, like, someone else might say to me, well, you think BJ Penn was clean. Someone else might say, I don't think he was.
I think he had crystal meth issues later in life, but
Well, see, that's the other thing that affects his legacy. Like BJ Penn, because he lost like 10 fights in a row at the end, people won't consider him a GOAT. Whereas Khabib, he had a lot of wins in his own weight division, but he never went up and did anything at welterweight. So he kind of stopped at a good time in his career unbeaten, and it always looks better. But if you compare compare Khabib with Henry Cejudo, like Henry Cejudo had a long run at his weight division, and he won the next weight up and didn't pop.
I think we're in an era now, though, with maybe Islam, where Islam can be the potential of
He's
that.
popped already, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Not the religion.
But I agree with you. Islam is that. It's just that he
Yeah.
popped early in his career. Now, I know it's since been rescinded, but given like the amount of people popping as well from his, not just his camp, but from his manager's orbit.
Did Anderson Silva pop?
Yeah.
But it was late. It was after he kind of went downhill anyway. He popped. I don't think he popped in his
Yeah.
prime.
Also, he didn't win the light heavyweight title. See, it's really hard to do. It's really
true.
hard to win the
That's
title,
true.
the weight division above you.
Maybe if we cancel out John Jones, it might be Daniel Cormier.
Yeah,
Could well be. He never popped, as far as I know.
DC.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
he's one of my all-time favorites, Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he won in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he won in a different, did he win a double champ in a different organization as well?
Yeah, he was light heavy and then heavy.
In
UFC.
Strikeforce or something as well?
Strikeforce light heavy and then UFC heavy.
He didn't
He won-
win the
okay.
two in Strikeforce.
He won the heavyweight Grand Prix in Strikeforce.
Oh, that's
he
pretty
fought,
good.
He fought Josh Barnett and Josh Barnett wasn't a light
He
heavyweight.
wasn't. Was he not always heavyweight in Strikeforce?
You're right, John. You're right. He wasn't the light
yes.
heavyweight in Strikeforce.
Yes, he only cut- yeah,
Strikeforce.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. Did he not do light heavy in UFC and heavyweight?
He did in the UFC, but not in Strikeforce. But he won 3 titles: Strikeforce heavyweight and 2 in the UFC. It's pretty impressive. Now he did have Towelgate, but I'm not so worried about
that's
that.
a bit of crack, and you
Yeah,
you
not
get
worried
away
about
with
that.
that. Like if they let him away with that, then fucking.
We explain what Towelgate is to people who may not be familiar with towels or cloths.
It's a type of porn that Les looks at.
Marcus, I'll let you explain because I know that at the time you followed that very closely. I think.
Yeah, so it's at the weigh-ins, holding on to the towel to take a little bit of weight, some of the pressure off the scale. Apparently, it's what a lot of the competitive wrestlers do when they're cheating on the scales, and Daniel Cormier did that because the 205 cut was really hard for him to do. So he was spotted doing it, but it was kind of media talk as opposed to he was ever not going to be allowed to fight over it.
It's up to the level of the curling scandal, ongoing curling
What's
scandal.
the curling scandal, John?
Well, apparently, one of the Canadian curlers in the Olympics, when they're pushing the object, right at the end, he stuck out his finger and gave it a little nudge.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it caused, actually, I saw it very fun. Do you ever watch Garen Noon? Is it Garen Noon? He's such a funny guy, but he did a really funny thing on it earlier on. We'll get Garen Noon to come on the podcast, yeah.
So did the guy get caught for that?
Yeah,
And
it's
disqualified.
Yeah, it's probably the same extent as Towelgate in the sense that it is kind of comical, and Cormier doing that kind of stuff. Is that legitimate cheating or is it a bit of gamesmanship?
But also he's carrying weight. Anyways, it's not. He's carrying actual fat. That like if he was shredded, I'd be like, okay, that's pure muscle. but he's carrying fat from apple tart.
He's a cheeky chap. I want my goat to be a bit of a rogue, not doing steroids, just being cheeky.
What about that really big country Nelson? What about him?
Definitely rent-free.
Bellator after. But related to Daniel Cormier, he'll be the only one to ever do that because there was a guy on the UFC Australia that tried to do it, and now he's cutting his career's over because he missed weight and he tried to do Towelgate, took like 5 pounds off.
Trailblazer, Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, he's the only one. So he's the
Often it's
GOAT.
best to be the first, yeah. So I'm happy to say DC would be the GOAT. He'd cover that mountain.
Cool.
There was a bit of consensus there among you that like Fedor would be like the GOAT, and I'm just reading up that he was never in UFC. Does that matter at all? He was never in like the
Not
top
in the
promotion
Soviet
back
era,
then.
no.
Not in the Soviet era.
I think
Not
when
back
he was firing on all cylinders, Pride was the place to be. That was the more competitive organization, but also I'd say massive steroid user, and also fought a lot of guys lighter than him.
Never been popped.
Had a record in my
Never been
opinion.
popped.
Never been popped.
And he fought guys who were way heavier than him too. Didn't he fight that sumo wrestler guy?
He was never shredded. Probably did steroids, but never popped.
He's done a lot of joke fights. You're right, John.
If you're, say, Islam Makhachev or John Jones now, they might say, well, your criteria, Vincent, is not that they'd care, but they might say it's not fair because Fedor wasn't getting tested and we were. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know what you do about
They
that.
did tests. They did like push-ups before the fight.
I don't
Were
think
there drug tests in Pride?
no.
No,
No,
I don't
no,
think so.
There's people selling drugs openly
Yeah.
at Pride.
There's people injecting in the ring.
There was a lot of testing of drugs.
Yes, they were more into that. They're more innovative in the testing and usage of drugs. How far can we push it? And that's how science advance.
And I'm a total fanboy of his. So maybe he's not a legitimate contender for GOAT, but
He is, of course.
from
Oh, I
my
agree
point
with
of
you.
view, he'll be number one forever. And he's a fat ball guy,
There was a cult following behind him for
He
ages.
was brilliant. And he could have fought at light heavyweight if he'd wanted to go on a diet.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that big a dude.
I'm just a fan of fat ball guys, DC and Fedor in particular.
His fight against Big Nog as well.
Yeah, I know he had some incredible fights against incredible fighters. There's no doubt about that. Hit some fluff around the edges as well, but fucking so did Khabib. You know,
Just his fight IQ was insane. The way he'd come over people's punches, or he'd wait till they punch and then nip in when they were bringing their hand back and punch them in the face and get to clinch.
and just
Like, it was amazing.
his reactive explosivity. Hit the fact that he could.
There's no drug for that. There's no drug for that.
Absolutely. Right. We'll move on to another question. This one's from a user. Their name is not on their page. It's
Coward.
Dragonfly20. Okay, it's a voice note. Let's play this.
Voice note.
I know, we got voice notes now.
Did you censor this?
No, I've listened to it before, though.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I know.
What up, motherfuckers?
Did you censor yourself, Tom?
That wasn't me. That was Dragonfly 56.
I think, Les, maybe just bleep out what he said so it sounds like he said something a lot worse as well. And then ended up me saying that. Okay, so you ready for the question? I'll put it here. Hopefully it plays.
Hey, hello, it's Francois. Marcus, he told me there is a question for MMA podcast. I would just like to ask, hey Tom, where is the best place to go juggling? On fait de juggling in Galway without shoes. Where is that?
Thanks, Chris.
So that's Dragonfly 20.
Is he back from Malta? Is he?
Appears to be a Frenchman.
You'd miss Chris around the
You would miss him. You would, yeah. I'd say Spanish Arch, Chris. Hit Spanish Arch up around summer. You'd be fine.
All right. Now, many listeners will remember, and also, the esteemed podcast panel will remember Emmett from the last questions answered. Now, he sent in voicemails so people could hear his beautiful voice. So he's got. You'll get to know the man more, I suppose. So here is some questions from Emmett. Here's the first one.
Hi guys, long-time listener, part-time stalker. My first question is a personal one. It concerns the song "Flock of Seagulls, I Ran Away." What do you think the guy who wrote the song was run away from? And what's the last thing you ran away from in your life?
Okay. So you want to jump in there?
I actually think it's about the country Iran. I ran so far away.
It's not an obvious thing that he's running away from a flock of seagulls. It's actually, it's like, fucking flock of seagulls looking after my chips, my ice cream. Yeah, so who knows what you ran. The last thing I ran away from.
Don't mention that.
There was a wedding I was at recently.
No.
I'm not mentioning why,
No.
but I got the fuck out of there.
We've just to the listeners.
Does anyone
we know
here
the
know
story.
CPR? That was John.
And I just want to ask John, is there
any?
any way, John, that you could tell that story to make it palatable to the world? And I'm not saying censor yourself, but is there any way you could sort of tell that story, get the gist of it across,
And put your air code in at the same time.
I just ran away from a person who I wasn't fond of their company.
male or female? It doesn't
It was
matter.
a male.
It doesn't matter if they're male or
It was
female.
a male that I wasn't fond of their company, and they were overly fond of mine.
It doesn't matter what they wanted to do to you either. We
Well,
don't
it
need to
did
go
in
into
the
that.
sense that it's not. Sometimes it's not okay to touch people in their special parts. So sometimes it's just people out there that are unsavory characters, but you can't beat up for whatever reason.
You just can't be beating people up.
I think that's the thing. Yeah.
Sometimes people deserve to get beaten up, but
True.
sometimes you will end up probably on the wrong side of things, on the wrong side of history.
Were they making weird noises as well?
There was some weird noises. There was a lot of weirdness. Yeah. So I
Sounds like training in Andrew Galvo's Atos gym.
literally ran out of there. Yeah, got out of there. Yeah. So there you go now. Yeah, trauma.
Can anyone top the running away moment?
I can't remember the last time I ran away.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're also tough.
Yeah. All right.
That guy who ran away.
John's gone for a cigarette.
Some man makes an appropriate advance at me at a wedding. I'm going to go with it because I'd rather that than not run away. That's how tough I am.
I wouldn't want to make it awkward.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go with it.
Did you make sure you take his hooks out so he doesn't get your back?
Yeah, because I don't want to be seen as discriminatory in any way. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's why I have sex with everyone.
Even if you don't want to, don't do that.
I think we've answered that question for Emmett quite nicely. He's got a second one here.
Do you think crotch stuffing is common in MMA circles?
So, do you think crotch stuffing is common in MMA circles?
Are showers not a thing afterwards?
Why were Derek Lewis's balls hot?
There you go.
The extra sock in there.
Do you remember Conor McGregor had that weigh-in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then later he went on to get an operation, I assume an extension operation. And when he recovered, he took that picture online. So, so if he wasn't crotch stuffing, who was?
He was doing the next best thing. He was actually adding to his crotch.
Gone one further,
Yeah, that
Crotch
was a
is great.
strange one. I presume you're talking about the Mayweather weigh-in face-off. Where
Yes.
no,
Oh, was
that's
it not that one?
That was the one where he got a 3/4 erect during it.
No, there was another one where we got full boner.
I
Yeah.
can't remember which one it
It
was.
was ages and ages ago. Yeah.
I know we have spoken about this previously on
probably just
podcast.
fake.
We've spoken
probably
about
just
fear boners.
Fear
you know?
boners.
The adrenaline. And it goes back to the study in the Vietnam War of the adrenaline people facing during war and that fight or flight where they're getting erections.
Is it not a weight cutting trick that if he's able to rest his boner on the towel, that he'll be able to take away most of the weight?
Wherever the scale is measuring, put the blood away from it.
See, this is why we have so many female listeners. They love to get this sort of sensitive insight into what is predominantly, not exclusively, but predominantly the male culture of MMA.
It'll probably be clickbait now on like a Cosmopolitan site or something, or
Hello Magazine.
Woman's Weekly. Things you wish you knew. Yeah, and also hello to
I
our
think
Taiwan listeners.
In terms of the Vietnamese War,
we're big in Taiwan. We're big in Taiwan.
we
The
are
stats
actually.
show that.
Whoever's listening to us in Taiwan, hi, how's it going?
Don't bring up the Vietnam War though.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, how shit would you feel about yourself if you got shot and died with a boner? Or would that be a good way
That'd
to
be
go?
a great way to die.
Would it?
Yeah.
Depends if the blood, if it had gone to your heart instead, you would have lived. Yeah, some hard questions there from Emmett. Here's his last one now. I believe this is a juicy one.
Amanda Nunez has publicly stated she has never worked a normal 9-to-5 job before becoming an MMA champion. Why does the panel think that more Irish people that are on the dole don't win world championships?
It's a good question. Well, sorry.
Emma, shut up. but like, isn't that where Conor McGregor came from? Was he not able to go? Loads of fighters are training well on the dole.
I think it's because there's three main reasons. I think. Well, number one, we don't have a wrestling culture of any kind. So if you get into MMA,
Sleeve and
like you're 17, 18, you haven't done wrestling as a kid, which is a disadvantage. You haven't even done jiu-jitsu as a kid until recently. It's only the last 10 years. Number two, we have a boxing culture. And although punching people in the face with your hands is very good in a fight, our boxing culture in Ireland, the way they stand, they have their leg forward in such a way that if you do that in MMA, the person will just kick the leg out from under you. And it's hard for people to change something if they have been doing boxing from, say, 6 or 7 and they suddenly transition to MMA. It's hard to do that at 17.
Why does America have such a wrestling? Would that have come from Eastern Europe, from the immigrants who probably brought it over?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, melting pot, but certainly collar and elbow.
It was a Midlands kind of a sport as well,
Catch-
wasn't it?
catch
And that
wrestling.
was all German. That was all German immigrants.
But and catch wrestling went over, collar and elbow from Ireland.
Yeah.
Like everyone went over, but I suppose over there, if you think about who went over, it's the toughest and strongest, and there was kind of like people who wanted to show off and what have you, or let off some steam or whatever it was. But surely, when you get situations like in Ireland where there was a massive wrestling culture, huge wrestling culture in Ireland pre-famine, and then a lot of the strongest male wrestlers left and went over there, and
the Marks of Queensberry came in.
Well, they would have been the people going around to shows saying, "Can anyone beat me for $20 or what have you?" And folk style wrestling combined with then Greco later on. So it's that melting pot kind of situation whereby tough dudes in America,
And that's where the term fair boxing comes from. Do you ever hear people saying fair boxing when they're boxing each other?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean be fair. It means fight like they do in the fair. Fair rules.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. Now for you. Gachla la skull, yeah.
And also the other thing is, the third factor I think is that if you actually look at it, there's not that many unemployed people in Ireland. And the ones that are unemployed, a lot of them are working anyway. You know what I mean?
Our thriving economy.
Hashtag Deliveroo.
But the other thing is, can I get you back to? It just occurred to me there. You're talking about, say, America and the wrestling culture there. The way in America and Russia as well, there's strong support for wrestling. And I wonder if it's to do with the Cold War as well. Like the government poured money into those sports. Like if you go to an American school, 6-7 times out of 10, you can probably find a wrestling program there in their secondary schools. Imagine if we had that here. And I think Russia, I don't know if they support it statewide in Russia, but wrestling's really popular in certain parts of Russia, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it probably isn't the schools.
If you
somewhere.
want to do PE, you go to universities for sports universities. In China, it's
And
the
you
same
can do
thing.
wrestling
and
as
you
a-
can just
as a
do
sport.
as a sport, or you might have to do a few different sports, but you pick your main one. In China, the same thing. They've got universities just for the jocks. So you've got and then obviously the cream of the crop of that rises up. But it's different culture.
So we need Ireland to kind of be on a war footing with some other country, and for the government to pour money into
But it would
teaching
just-
young men and women how to fight through wrestling.
If we had a university for sport, it'd be all GA. It would be just the. We would, yeah.
I was going to say, if we do that, let's pick a country we can really trounce, like St. Lucia or something
Malta.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
one.
Fuck those Maltese.
Oh, we bait the Maltesers.
I think Malta has a fairly good folk style wrestling set up down there, Celtic
not
wrestling
then,
thing. Yeah. So you're like,
Hacky sack with Malta.
Stick with Les at St. Lucia then.
yeah, St. Lucia, yeah. And we could go and visit there. That'd be nice.
Where is St. Lucia?
Gym invasion.
It's near St. Kitts and the Caymans.
Epstein Island, basically.
We could definitely beat him at something.
If you go past Inisheer and stay going.
I'm with you.
We've got one more question. It's also a voice note from Jared. I believe he's from Germany because we're international here.
German Jared.
Hallo and wunderbar, greetings. Das ist Wolfgang. I am a fan of your podcast, and I was wondering, could you tell me, because I am a fan of the MMA, hey Tom, could you tell me where is the best place to set up a tent and wash your clothes in a lake? This is good MMA question, wunderbar.
Alright, so danke für das. Ohne Scheiß, es gibt Luft nach oben, ja? Wer hat ein Laus über die Leber gelaufen, Chris?
It's lovely to hear a bit of Irish on the podcast. Tom, both the questions were like of you living like a transient lifestyle. Why are you being asked these things?
Because I live a transient lifestyle. I don't know if do I have to answer that. Now, if you're going to, it depends on where you are, Wolfgang, Chris.
That was Jared from Germany.
Yeah, but his name, he said his name was Wolfgang.
I don't speak German.
Oh, you don't speak German accent.
It's the German for Jared, apparently.
I think I would go out to Moycullen, and there's loads of lovely lakes around there. Loch Cara, right beside there. Loads of kind of
Ross Lake.
Oh, Ross Lake, and you could camp there. You could even get some vegetarian fish. You can harvest some reeds, and you can wash your clothes there. You can kind of rub the gilcock together and make a little lather for yourself.
What's the most transient thing you've ever done?
This podcast.
Like, have you ever spent like 2 nights or 3 nights sleeping outdoors?
I spent
nowhere to go and home and stuff.
I was homeless in China before.
Man, that's awesome.
I
jealous. I gotta ask.
I figured I wasn't actually able to read the Chinese on my first day in China, and I landed anyways. And
How many days did it take you?
I was pretty good.
I picked it up pretty quickly.
I picked it up pretty fast. But when I landed in Xinjiang, I was by myself. That's the northwest China. That's where the Uyghur live, and the Chinese people love to homogenize their culture there. I was trying to find this place where I was meant to be living, and I couldn't find it. And I ended up sleeping in a bush for quite some time. But it was fine. It was great.
It gets cold, doesn't it, at 5 a.m? Like,
yeah. Just cover your head. Cover your head. Yeah.
Would the Chinese authorities frown upon being homeless in the?
No, I'm white. They didn't care about me. If a Uyghur was homeless now, they'd probably pick them up and re-educate them.
Yeah, but why are they pretending to be like a black person? I mean, just like embrace yourself.
Yeah.
We're all reeling after that one. Let's go back to the documentaries next
so have
time.
any more questions?
That concludes our question.
That's
Let's keep going.
about an hour.
Yeah.
Enough, isn't it?
I have a mystery if you want.
Oh yeah, do the
go
mystery.
on.
Yeah.
Do you have a song for the mystery?
Yeah, see yourself with the mystery.
I think we could just cut the last song in.
It's a
gonna be the same-
mystery
it's
podcast.
It's gonna be the same song.
Underneath your chairs, you'll find a clue.
I'd like to hear the song though, because I just kind of like it. I don't want to see a live performance.
I'd love to hear it too, guys, but that was last week.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same kind of
Edit it
mystery.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is live, I suppose. You don't always get what you want.
And could we
during
just
a live
all
show.
go like wow and clap for Marcus after he finished his?
An enigma wrapped in a mystery. Oh, what is it? He's strangely specific about Pride FC dance history. Oh. You can try and figure him out, but you won't. The secret he keeps in his mouth and his coat. Tom's mystery of MMA.
That was a really good song.
How'd you way better than the first performance?
Well, I've memorized it, Vinny, and it's paid off.
So the mystery is a mystery pride fighter.
Hold on. Tell us about under the chairs again. 'cause
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
you
hear
got to
that.
put your hands underneath your chairs and you got to pull out an envelope and there's a mystery under there waiting for you. HE has a quarter of the clue. You got to put them all together to
Wow.
make
Wow.
the thing. Right.
You have taken criticism and you've turned it into Tesla. You know? Good for you.
I was waiting for Vinny to shut me down.
Okay, just so the listeners are aware, I have a picture of Barbie, but it's a Barbie that is where, how would you describe that? A kind of a,
That's a Ken doll.
it's a Ken, no, but it's
It's a type of porn.
oh, is that Ken?
It's Ken.
That's Ken, yeah. He's got pants on. He's wearing double denim. He's wearing a jacket that's not dissimilar to your own, John.
But that's not Ken. That's
They're
Barbie. Is it not? It's a blondie, blue-eyed Ken.
Look at the crotch.
Yeah, that is actually ambiguous.
Like it looks like Barbie is wearing. Hold on,
Is it a hermaphrodite version?
That dude needs to get some trem in quick.
like that looks to me. Anyway, so I have Ken. So
Okay,
is
so
that-
Ken. So
okay,
is
sorry.
Ken Shamrock the answer?
No.
I'll explain what I have. I have a key. No, it's an old key, but it is in fact a key.
You've got the key. He's got the secret.
No, I'm sorry. I've got a picture of a fireman we won't name, who we all know who works locally. Tom is in court, or someone called Tom, picture of someone called Tom as a defendant, and there's a judge banging the gavel aggressively. So there's three things in that picture.
And I have a picture of a deer wearing a hat, and it says pronouns: she, her. Deer.
Oh, this is very
Is
tricky
this something to do with transgender
Okay.
ideology?
Welcome to my mystery.
When I saw the Ken key, I thought it was Genki Sodu.
Genki Su Do. Do a deer, a female deer.
Very good.
And Sue. Oh! Sue!
Very good.
Wow.
Do you know
good.
what helped there
Very
hugely was the.
It was on the right order. I didn't even plan that.
Yeah, no,
Unreal.
but like, it was just a random order, but there you go. Yeah,
There you go.
That was
John,
very good, Tom.
Tom, that was amazing. And John, your brain is absolutely astounding.
Text in the answer and you'll get a bottle of Puchin.
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to?
No, you're fine. That was for you.
Joe,
It's amazing that you put that together, like a flash of just inspiration.
why
Do a deer, a female deer. So I printed a dawn,
Genki Su Do.
a
Oh, the
fawn.
pronoun
And
she, he-
I was kind of like, that's a fawn. And then I was like, but I'll have to make her feminine, like a woman. So I put
Oh,
lipstick
yeah.
on her and a beautiful hat, and I put her pronouns in there. So she's
Okay.
definitely
Oh,
a fully
yeah, very
grown
good.
Genki
female
Su Do.
woman deer.
What a beautifully visual mystery for an audio podcast. I gotta.
And all wild animals in Old English were called deer. It's only recent. It's only not recent times, but after that they developed other names for wild animals.
But like, no one had money in those days. That's why they're all there.
That was class.
Maybe would John be able to see us out with another philosophical question that'll get in my head for a while? Or will we just leave it there?
What is the one thing that if you had right now would make everything better for you? The one thing you might need that if you had right now makes everything better. And again, money is an easy thing, but really, would that make everything better?
You should get a TED talk for yourself.
Wow. I just, in your head, though, I can see you're picturing 6 microwaves, you know?
To the full potential.
Yeah. Well, the microwave, that's not necessarily a philosophical thing. That's just a kind of a tragedy, you know?
Well, if you want to find out the answer to that question, listeners, you'll have to tune into the next podcast.
Yeah, and give Vinny a couple of weeks to think about it.
Great
Get
one,
back to you.
John.
Thanks.
Is it happiness?
Holy barracuda. That was a great podcast.
There's no right answer.
Is it love?
I prefer the ones about a duck flying or walking or something.
If there's no right answer, what's the fucking point?
I prefer your earlier work.
I wasn't prepared. Like,
I thought it was very good. I'm actually going to be thinking about that for the next couple of
Is
weeks.
the answer preparation, so.
What's the average speed of a fart?
There's 3 words for fart in Irish. There's a tuffog, a rúchan, and a bream.
I always thought it was tutog.
There's tutog, come on. Well, a tuffog, tuchog, but that's the silent one. Tuffog is a silent one. A rúchan makes a loud noise, and bream's just your normal shite.
Shade your foul.
You keep talking like that, we're going to get ourselves a grant.
Sponsored by Údarás Gaeltachta.
Okay, keep it crabby.
Keep it crabby.
Sorry, I meant to say crabby.
Should I say crabby?
Someone's on Tyrannosaurus.
He is shook to his
I've
core.
got too many.
Shook to his core by John's question.
Trembolone. What's it called again?
It's called Tyrannosaurus.
I don't know. Who knows?
Cause it's the Mike is Vinny, Tom and John. Open up your rap, turn it on. Strange Rules Podcast.
You've got the key, he's got the secret.